And this brings up senior Eddie Morris. He's probably the biggest producer on this team. Last year, the team was led by, of course, Dawson Porter, as we mentioned, and Reese Matson, who will be out this season with injury. But behind him, as far as last season's average leaders, was Eddie Morris, batting a .340 average, driving in 8 runs, scoring 9 runs.
I'll tell you, I saw Eddie play a couple Kiski Legion games over the summer, and I thought he really added some pop to his stick over the past year. So, see if that translates to this season.
Ball low to Morris. So Cipher on second, 1 out, and the third batter in the order, Eddie Morris, at the plate. Here's a pitch. He turns on it quickly, and that's well hit but foul.
Yeah, he turned on that. Definitely got the sweet spot of the bat on it. Just a little too early. That would have been a pretty good poke.
Quick meeting here for Indiana on the mound.
They said maybe don't throw one right there again.
For a lefty hitter, you love those. We talked about that, actually, you and I did the other day about lefties loving that inside pitch, just being able to turn on it. And that's a place, lefty on lefty matchup especially, you don't want to leave that pitch.
That's the only place I ever felt comfortable hitting against a left-hander, being a left-handed bat myself, was getting that inside pitch, because once it gets out over the other half of the plate, weird things start to happen coming out of the hand of a left-handed pitcher.
Breaking ball by Homer Ball. Nice job of Eddie Morris. Tough pitch to lay off of there.
Yeah, patient. Good eye there by Eddie Morris.
I'm going to zoom back in here for a moment, folks. Get more of the action. Here's the pitch up high. So Cipher going. There, he's safe. The ball escapes, so here it is with just 1 out. Any ball deep enough in the outfield score Cipher after the steal of third. So that speed, you mentioned it right off the top, Josh. It's showing its head right now with Cipher on third now with 2 steals in the inning.
Yeah, 3-1 count here too for Morris. You know, he's probably going to see a good strike.
Homer with the pitch. He steps off. Eddie Morris steps out, so it's late.
Being so far away, we can't hear who called time first. You saw Homer kind of back away thinking maybe a balk there, but Morris called time first.
Oh, with the pitches. Morris turns on this one, down the line, and this will score Paul Cipher. So Eddie Morris turning on yet another pitch, and it records the first run of the ball game for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, Morris got that inside fastball, inner half of the plate. As we mentioned earlier, he turned on the one earlier in the at-bat, was able to put this as just a smoked right into right field, 1 hopper into the right fielder's glove. Cipher scores easily after getting 2 stolen bases.
Hitting the ball well, making some of those plays. Of course, there were a couple errors there in that first inning that gave them 7 runs, but they're hitting the ball well and making these fielders for Indiana work. You know, Eisenhower, we mentioned at second base, was getting tested there pretty regularly in the first inning. So credit to Armstrong. They're helping themselves by making good contact here, Josh.
And Eisenhower out of the game right now. Indiana made a substitution after Eisenhower hit that double. Number 8, I believe. It's tough to see out here. We're kind of far away.
This is Eddie Morris for Armstrong. Ball inside to the senior Morris. So 7-0 here, bottom of the second. Armstrong, 7-run first inning, looking to add more here in their second go-round at bat. Ball, I believe.
Yep, 3-0 on Morris. Antonio Caparosi. I'm going to keep saying that name because it's enjoyable. He's having trouble finding the strike zone. He had trouble with right after he came in last inning, finding the strike zone. Able to get that double play. You know, bang play at the plate there. J.B. Kunst getting thrown out by Brandon Kanik from right field, trying to tag up.
7-0 Armstrong. Ball inside, and Morris will take the walk. So RBI single in the first inning for Morris. On base a second time here with a walk is Eddie Morris, the second baseman for the Riverhawks, which
very poorly drawn. So my apologies for that. But Bull Durham,
great movie.
We agree. Susan Sarandon's finest performance.
I would somewhere there, yes. So here's the first batter that Fritz will face, Eddie Morris again for the Riverhawks. Ball inside, ball one. One out here in the bottom of the third inning, runner on first for Eddie Morris, third batter. Cypher, who hit a home run earlier in the game, on deck. This ball is looped foul down the left field line. Out of play.
Lone spectator down there will track down the foul ball.
So 11-1 here. Bottom of the third inning. Armstrong scoring early and often here in this contest, folks. Ball in.
Morris not tempted by that one, just a bit above the letters. More of that plate discipline, Joe.
Morris's third at bat of the game. Ball outside. He holds off. So long at bat here for Eddie Morris. It's with Eli Wiles on first base. Line ball down the line. Over the head of the right fielder. This will two-hop the fence. Wiles is around second. Morris to second base. He's going to go to third. They're going to wave Wiles home, and he's in easily. Morris called out at third, but the run does score. That's the second out of the game, or excuse me, inning. But give Eddie Morris the RBI double.
Yeah, Morris looked to lose his feet just a little bit coming around second base there, Joe. I don't know if he hit the base oddly, but he had to.
It is indeed Homer, so he stayed in the game, remained in the second spot in the lineup.
You know, that's the part of high school baseball that's...
And being pretty far away.
Yeah. It's tough to follow the re-entry rules because they are obviously different than college or Major League Baseball.
So Austin Homer at the plate, first batter that Eddie Morris will face. Morris's first pitch inside. Or called strike.
I don't know. That is, I mean, impossible to tell if the umpire just waved inside. I don't think it was a strike call.
We are actually behind the scoreboard here, so we're unable to see what the official call was. Here's a ball lined down the right field line, but foul.
We know for sure that one is a strike.
That is indeed a strike, so just have to kind of pay attention here.
You know, this umpire, I mean, yeah, I guess he is holding up the count, but we can't see it. Need a telescope, Joe.
A pair of binoculars would do.
Or a telescope.
So
Or looking glass. One of those old pirate telescopes.
A looking glass. Here's Morris and the stretch runner on second here. Pitch inside, ball to Austin Homer of the Little Indians. Again, find us on Twitter at SampleSportsARM. And our website, samplesports.com.
Well, I can say now with 100% certainty that we do have a full count.
So Morris, first batter he faces, runs the count full, does the senior for Armstrong. Runner on second for the Indians. Pitch. It's a lined. Tough play in center field for Cypher. He gets it. He's going to tag, but he guns it in. Tough throw, so the runner will advance on the fly ball to center fielder Paul Cypher. So Eddie Morris able to retire the first batter he faces. Runner does get to third base in the process.
Yeah, Cypher came up throwing.
I'm sorry, you were saying, I interrupted you, Josh.
That's okay. Cypher came up throwing right there, but his throw was up the line.
So 2 outs here in the inning. Morris looking to get the second out and send things into the bottom of the third.
Got the strike right there on the outside corner. Sorry, Joe. I wanted to make sure the umpire gave the actual strike signal.
So just waving it outside.
Yeah.
And, the arm gesture looking exactly the same. Morris in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Nice breaking ball by Morris. Swinging over, it is Nick Hilliard, the third batter in the Little Indians lineup. And Morris with the pitch. Down, and at strike 3 is Eddie Morris there. So Morris retiring the final 2 batters of the inning in relief of Eli Wiles. So this is Eddie Morris on the mound for Armstrong again for a second straight inning. Got the final 2 outs of the second inning, and now he will face A.J. Ryan. Swinging strike. 0-1 to Ryan.
And Morris seems to be pounding the bottom half of the zone out there, and it's getting a lot of swings and misses.
Ball inside, strike 2. So first one swinging, second one looking is Ryan's. Well, Ryan starts as his bat. Strike 3, looking. So you mentioned the backwards K, Josh.
Backwards K, indeed. That's Morris's second punch out.
So 3 batters face, 2 Ks for senior Eddie Morris. Which brings up Alec Petrov. Swinging strike. So exactly how he started off the last batter there, Josh, that low breaking pitch. Almost looked like a slider from
Yeah,
out
that's
here.
what I was going to say. Maybe a slider. Something with a lot of downward bite on it.
Ball is lined to right field. That'll get down. I believe this is Max Morris, newly into the game. He throws it in, gets the cutoff. But that'll be a single by Petrov. Petrov able to drop it there to Morris's right. Max Morris, that is, who was playing right field.
Yeah, if I'm Brother Eddie, I'm telling my younger brother, why aren't you laying out for that ball, Max?
That would have been a tough play.
Oh, yeah, impossible play.
Morris still able to cut it off quickly and get it into the second baseman, preventing the double. First pitch low, ball 1. I believe Lincoln Trussell. So 1 ball, no strikes here. The third batter of the inning for Indiana. Breaking pitch high, swinging miss. So Morris using that breaking ball a lot.
Yeah, that one was upstairs, and I don't think Trussell could lay off. It probably looked as big as a beach ball coming in there, but a swing and a miss.
You don't want to leave that one up there too often. But sneaks it by the batter. Does Eddie Morris. Low breaking pitch. This time Trussell able to lay off that low breaking ball. Morris with the pitch. This ball's fouled. Or down the line maybe. That'll drop in fair actually, right over the first baseman's head. It was kind of an in-between play. They get the out though, the force, because the runner from first didn't know whether to move, Josh. So give him the force at second base there. That was a tough ball. That was no man's land, as they like to say, right between the first baseman, right fielder, and even the second baseman ranging over there for Armstrong, none of which able to come up with the ball.
Yeah, the in-betweener, but Harriger stayed with it, picked the ball up, fired to second base to get the force out right there. Break for Armstrong.
Big break for Armstrong. Here's a pitch. I guess he holds back for ball 1. So runner on first base here for Indiana. 2 outs in the inning. Morris throw to first. And he picked him off. So the second pickoff of the game for Armstrong. First Eli Wiles, now Eddie Morris. So just like that, Armstrong out of that inning. And the score will remain 12-1. So Morris here in the top of the 5th. Armstrong leading 13-1, excuse me. There's a first pitch strike fouled out of play. And Harriger will range for it but can't come up with the ball.
That's tough. You're getting close to that fence. You saw Kanik just take a face plant off the fence earlier. You don't want to run full speed into a fence. It's not fun, especially early in the season. You know, if this is a playoff game, I don't mind it. But right now, early in the season, you don't want to risk injury just running full speed into a fence.
Especially when you consider who the first baseman ranging there is, Caleb Harringer.
Yeah, he's
much more important on the mound than he is playing first base.
Way too valuable to Armstrong.
Low pitch here, ball. So 13-1, Eddie Morris operating for the Riverhawks. Low able to hold off at this pitch. Unlike a lot of the batters before, that low breaking pitch has been working for Morris here since coming in for Eli Wiles.
Yep, Morris pounding the bottom of that zone. He's only really left one ball up in the zone, a hanging curveball that was swung through.
Gets that one across for a strike. Armstrong here as the sun is kind of getting lower in the sky, kind of drooping behind where the backstop is. Be tough plays now for the outfielders when balls are hit to them. First it was that high sky, now it's that sun directly almost above the backstop.
And we've spoken to Coach Morris about what home field advantage means to him. And, you know, this is a difficult park to play in, Joe. You know, the elements are always in play up here, you know, at Armstrong. And Coach Morris, you know, has his team conditioned to play in those elements.
And strike 3 by Eddie Morris. That's his 3rd K since coming into the game. So they'll throw the ball around the horn. That's 1 out for Indiana here in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, strikeout percentage for Eddie Morris at 50% right now, Joe. 3 of the 6 batters he's faced, he's mowed down on strikes.
Morris will face the 2nd batter of this inning.
I believe that's Brady Codman in the 8th spot.
3rd baseman. This is where he started the game for Indiana. Morris, the stretch, and the pitch. Balls. Breaking ball way inside. Codman able to get out of the way. Morris's 2nd pitch. So 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Armstrong up 13-1. Eddie Morris pitch, ground ball to 3rd, knocked down, but unable to make the play is Noah Seifert. So that will be the first batter to reach for Indiana in this inning. Morris, 3rd batter he'll face in the inning.
Ryan Putt at the plate right now.
Morris, runner on first. Here's the pitch, low and outside. Josh, you're trying to mention something?
Yeah, I believe that's Garrett Kelly in at 3rd base now for Armstrong. I believe Seifert came out of the game.
There's the pitch for Morris. This ball's hit down the left field line. It'll be close to and out of play. Able to get over there was the left fielder. I believe J.B. Kunst. There's a lot of outfield here too, Josh. It's not...
No, it's not a small park. I mean, if you look at some of the other schools that we cover, you know, maybe some tighter outfields. Apollo Ridge comes to mind, a shorter porch, both ways down the line. This is a spacious outfield.
First pitch hit to Paul Seifert, excuse me. He has a hard time right in that sun, just as we mentioned. That's exactly what caused him the problem. He was tracking it well, then sort of held up there for a second and unable to battle the sun enough to corral that ball. So runner now on 2nd base for Indiana.
Top of the order here.
I believe that was Jacob Fritz hit that ball. I believe this is Kanik.
Yeah, I think I still had Ryan Putt on the card there. I believe he came out when Fritz came in to pitch.
Here's Morris, steps off, looks to set runner back to 2nd base. So Morris doing well here in relief for Armstrong. And Brandon Kanik of Indiana up, who played a solid game.
Young man was on base in the 1st inning, got all the way around to 3rd, but got cut down in a, I have it written down here. Let's see if I can read it. 5-2-6-1-5-2 rundown at the plate. You know, and that actually settled Eli Wiles down a little bit early in the game when it was still a scoreless game.
Here's a ball. Looks like it's going to be hit down the right field line. The Sun again a problem, and that's Max Morris unable to come up with it. That Sun causing problems here now for the Armstrong outfielders, and I mentioned it in that as we came back for this inning, Josh, that the Sun is just in the worst place. No cloud coverage whatsoever here, and hanging right over those outfielders as they look up for the incoming fly balls.
Yeah, Max Morris with a little trouble out there. Just the same thing, basically, as Cypher, the batter before him, you know, having a difficult time with that Sun, as you mentioned, in those clouds. You know, the high, cirrus white clouds where that ball just gets lost.
Here's a ball driven in the gap between center and left field. Cypher there to get it. He's going to get it in quickly. A run will score. 2 runs will score for Indiana now. So again, that Sun there, credit to Indiana, they're able to put the bat on ball, but that Sun definitely aiding them and hurting the Armstrong outfielders, Josh.
Yeah, for sure. We got a 13-3 score here. Indiana within 10.
So 13-3, as Josh mentioned. Indiana now getting more runs in this inning than they had in the prior 4. Morris with the pitch, ball low. So working that lower part of the zone is Eddie Morris still. The runner on first and third. Throw over to first. Runner back safely here in the top of the 5th inning.
Indiana starting to get the bat on the ball a little bit, coming out of Morris's hand, maybe seeing a little bit better.
There's a strike.
3 hits this inning for the Little Indians. That, you know, 1 more than their total for the previous 4 innings.
More set in the pitch. Inside, but called strike.
Got a call right there, Joe.
So Eddie Morris operating here in the top of the 5th inning for Armstrong, second pitcher in the afternoon. Here's a pitch. Looks like it'll be in foul territory. Caleb Harriger over to look at it. Unable to come up with the ball is the Armstrong first baseman. Just barely making it over the fence there, Josh.
Yeah. He's had a couple this inning.
Getting tested. Morris will regroup in the mound. Again, runners on first and third base for Indiana. Again, you mentioned 3 hits already this inning. Throw over. Runners back in time. Josh, you mentioned their most productive inning certainly so far.
Yeah, a couple of runs on 3 hits. You know, an error by Armstrong also contributing to Indiana being able to get on the board.
Here's the pitch. Ball low. Strike. That's strike 3, so
4th strikeout for Morris.
That's what I was just going to say. Morris with has that strikeout pitch working. Using seems like he's using that breaking ball as his wipeout pitch.
Yeah, low, kind of just falling off the table.
So 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th inning here. Armstrong, first pitch, high fly ball, right back of second base. Camping under it is Bordick, and he will make the catch.
Well, he looked comfortable.